Hi folks, Georgia here from Timely with a quick update for Feature Coffee subscribers. You're receiving coffee from Grace Morales this week. This coffee was grown in the San Jose de Minas municipality in the Pichincha department of Ecuador. Now this coffee was grown on the farm known as Finca Cruz Loma, and it is owned and operated by Grace, and here she grows her coffee with her brother Brian. Now Grace and Brian only planted seedlings about 3 years ago, and this is the first full harvest that they've ever done, which is really exciting. The farm is about 350 hectares large, but only 2% of that farm is dedicated to growing coffee. The rest is dedicated to growing things like fruits, vegetables, which are sort of grown and prepared for export, but then also there's a large portion of untouched rainforest in this farm as well. That means that the biodiversity on the farm is really good, which not only benefits the crops, including coffee, but it's also just really good for preserving the natural environment in the area. One of the things that Grace really prioritizes on this farm is processing coffee in a variety of different ways. She believes this is the best way that she can sort of exhibit her coffee and offer something for a different palate for everyone. This particular coffee was processed in what Grace describes as honey process. In that instance, that means that the coffee was fermented without water for about 24 hours, and then it was sort of dried on covered raised beds for about 12 to 15 days. Usually part of the mucilage layer stays intact during this time, and that results in a sort of really sweet cup. This particular coffee we assigned the colour yellow to. That means that we think that the defining characteristic of this coffee is sweet, and as I mentioned, that's something we can partially attribute to the honey process. You'll taste notes of jasmine tea in here, you'll taste notes of cola. It's a really delicious sort of afternoon coffee drink, really nice when you brew it cold. I've said this before, but I really like the yellow coffees because I always feel like they are very delicious when they're brewed hot, but when they're brewed cold as a cold brew or cold drip, it sort of really brings out their tartness and their sweetness, which I really like. Yeah, that's all I got for you this week, folks. I really hope you enjoy this coffee from Grace Morales. Let me know what you think, but otherwise, I'll see you next week. Thanks very much. Why do I look so f***ed? The first harvest, like in another way, what are you talking about? For export, but the little, why do I mumble? Oh, f*** me. Grace here, get it together. Folks, Georgia here from Kindly. Wow. Take 53.